Today we're talking about one of the biggest scams and the hardest ones to beat on eBay right now. Hey, it's Don. Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest scams on eBay and one of the hardest ones to beat. Now, there is always a chance on getting taken or scammed on any platform you are selling on. There's always a way someone can beat the system to rip somebody off if they try hard enough. It's just a fact of life. In almost every business on this planet, there is something called shrink or shrinkage. That is the amount of revenue that you will lose through theft, deception, scams, and such forth like that. It is something that almost every industry that I know of has to deal with. Whether it's deception and ripping off labor hours by not doing work, whether it's literally stealing from your employer, whether it's shoplifters in a grocery store, convenience store or something, that's all considered shrinkage or shrink to your bottom line. It's basically losses. Many companies that are bigger have loss prevention staff and people that can monitor videos and video equipment, surveillance equipment, and all of that sort of thing. People like us, though, in this industry don't have that infrastructure for the most part. You still have to acknowledge that there is a chance that you will have some loss, some shrinkage to your business. The biggest scam that I know of on eBay, and one that we have been hit with ourselves, is the switch. Now, the switch is basically where you send somebody something that's very expensive. They open up a case and claim some wild statement or even just something small or simple that may not even seem like anything very big. What they do after the return is opened up, they'll send you something else. So basically, you mail out, let's say, a $3,000 record. You're going to mail it up, ship it off in the box here. We're going to get it all to the post office. We're going to send it off to them. It's going to go off. It's going to be returned to me. But instead of getting my record back, my $2,000, $3,000, 45 discs that I mailed off to them, instead they send me a cheapo one in the same packaging. This is one of those that's really hard to stop for the most part. It's really hard to fight it as well. Now, I know a lot of people just get mad and say eBay should fix it and side with you automatically. eBay didn't see either part of the transaction. Now, I'm just speaking from a legal aspect. I know it's upsetting. We've been taking ourselves for a lot of money in a couple situations way back when. So I understand the frustration, but blaming eBay for some other actor's actions is not a way to solve it in many cases. I'll give you some ways and some options you can do to help alleviate this, but from the eBay side of this, they don't know who to believe. There's no information on either side to say who actually did what. Now, I know people say, hey, I've been on forever, why wouldn't they side with me? Maybe the buyer has been on forever. And even if they haven't, that doesn't mean that a person may have been doing acts that weren't correct or illegal or did some sort of violation in the past, and they could be doing it again right now. For the most part, the majority of people we deal with across the board are great. I don't have issues. I don't have these sorts of things. But you're going to run across where someone's going to scam you. This one here is one of the hardest ones. What usually happens is someone might send a different package or give a fake tracking number. Those ones are easier to beat because you can show that it was delivered to a different city than you were in or some other aspect of it. If, let's say, you sent a 10-pound box out and they sent a first-class return small little envelope or something, you can prove that it's not the same item. It may take some fighting with eBay. It may take some calls. They may initially side with the person, the buyer, and close the case, but you can challenge that, have it reopened, and produce the evidence. There's a system in place at eBay, and that system does certain things at certain points. You may not even be questioned if they can show it was delivered back to you. So in those cases, you'll fight it. But as I said with this one's the hardest one because it's the same box, the same size, same everything is in there. So the weight matches, it's returned. Again, no one knows what was actually in the box other than you and that person. eBay has no clear evidence on either side. Whether they want to side with the person who's been on the longest, who has the best history, legally speaking, that could be a bad decision. They have no way to do it. So I do understand the frustration for them always siding with the buyer. But from the standpoint, they return something to that address. Again, no defense of the system. This is just how the system works. I'm not saying I like every aspect of this either. I'm just expressing how it works and how the system is. So you've got to be able to work around these parameters. The only thing that I have seen in the past, if let's say they return something that's obviously the wrong way, if you are there or refuse the package, it doesn't get scanned at your location, but instead it goes back to them. So that'll push it off and put it back on their side to see what happens from there. I've done that before. Don't open the package if you can tell for sure it's not the same size. I weigh them if it's something like that. Very rarely do I ever have any issues like that. I don't sell high-end electronics or heavier expensive items in the first place because of issues like this. So you got to be diligent with this. Now, when we had it happen to us, I didn't think what to do. I didn't have video cameras all over the place and the whole works. That's the hardest aspect of it. The one thing I can say that will stand up in a court of law, I could say at least, is if you videotape the mailman coming up with the package and you open it continuously from the minute you show it in your hands all the way down to you opening it right there, it doesn't mean you have to make the post office guy wait. Don't cut the video. One straight shot all the way through. Open it up. If it's the right item, you're all set. If it's not, you've got proof directly from the hands of the post office to you. It should fix most of that, at least with eBay, because you can produce proof without a doubt that that is how it was delivered to you straight from someone else's hands. That's about the only way you are going to beat them on stuff like that. Once a package shows it was returned to you, even if it's not the right item, it's really hard to fight that otherwise. I fought some of those. The odds, it's a toss of a coin on which side eBay may land with. In a couple situations, eBay has actually done the benefit and given us a refund, even though they gave the buyer a refund as well. We had a very expensive vintage poster flyer from the original release of The Wizard of Oz. It sold for like $380. The person scammed us. They returned a damaged item in the whole works, and it was a big fight over that one there. So, you know, you got to be careful. You got to be diligent. We've went through all of these aspects. For all eBay knows, without you being able to show that it's coming in, the item was delivered to you. The right item showed up. You open the box, and you're just going to claim something else was in there. I'm not saying that's obviously what most people would do, but that's the standpoint. eBay has to take all of these cases from the viewpoint of a legal battle in court. If somebody does a lawsuit over the issue, eBay's going to have to show why they sided with one and didn't give somebody their money back. So that's what standpoint they are going on. It's a legal standpoint. eBay has a legal department. They are doing their due diligence the way they practice now. And again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to defend eBay. Anybody who watches this channel knows I don't do something like that. And so again, no defense of eBay. I'm just explaining why that process is in their legal aspect whatsoever. So again, the only real way to fight that would be to get some sort of video. I know you may not be home. It may just show up. A sign on the door that says, do not leave any packages outside. You can talk to your post office locally. If you're not there to get it, you got to have some way for it to be brought back to the post office. Usually if they can't deliver something like that, they will leave a card in your mailbox. So you can go from there, and then you would go and pick it up. You'd video you picking it up straight from the counter and opening it. Whether you step back with the video playing or not, show the box being opened up. I know that seems an extreme way to do stuff, but if it's thousands of dollars, that's your best goal on it. In the past, when we've gotten the wrong item back, I asked, was there a mistake? So you must have put the wrong item in there, and if they say anything, you kind of get them into saying something that would incriminate the actions that they did. You know, that's another long shot as well. But those are really the only aspects you've got going for you in these cases. Insurance, the item was delivered, so insurance isn't going to protect you in those cases. Always get them to return the item. Don't ever shell out money to someone claiming there's an issue with some high-dollar item to begin with. And I know there's people that have done that in the past, and we're sorry. Your options from that point on would be to report it, file a police report it through the internet fraud at the FBI, and have it investigated that way. You'd have to file a formal complaint of theft. You'd have to track down their information. They would have to get subpoenas from eBay to release the actual registered account information of the person who tried to scam you there. They could use fake information, so that may lead you nowhere. This is the day and age, unfortunately, that we live in, where you have to deal with this. Now, one other I get a lot of questions in is, what if you sell something that costs $10,000, $50,000, $100,000? How do people deal with those sorts of things? I can tell you from my standpoint, if we sell something that's $100,000, I am surely going to hand deliver it, I would imagine, at that point. It's well worth a plane ticket or a car rental or something, $1,000 even, invested in it to make sure it's delivered, and I can get a signed affidavit that has been notarized, of a legal document of some sort that shows that they got it, a video of them accepting it, something that proves from my point of view that they accepted it. They're fine with the condition, and there's not going to be an issue later on down the road. You can also verify identification. You can go through a bank, would probably be the best way to do it as well, or something along that line. I don't risk anything. I would rather invest a few $100s in traveling to make sure it's delivered, and I have something signed, notarized with witnesses that show that, yes, this person is happy with it. So later on down the road, there isn't some sort of fraud or anything like that. I would hate to have a hold for $100,000 or some monstrous amount of money. Scams are everywhere. You're going to have to take some loss at some point. Even if it's not necessarily a scam, there could be damage to items lost or stolen. That does happen. In most of those cases, you will lose. Let's say the post office delivers a box onto someone's porch. It shows it was delivered, and the item disappears. Someone stole it. Now, you're not necessarily going to be out that money, of course, but that person has no recourse to get it back. So they've been scammed by a thief that stole it from their porch. Again, they would have to go to the police department, file a report. They would have to investigate it. That's the same process that you would have to do if someone switched an eBay sides with them, because everything from their side shows that something, same way, was delivered back to you. Again, that's the only options you have on something like that. That is the biggest, worst scam there is. People can even send you the wrong item back or send you something totally different box, different weight and everything. Those are easier to beat. You can refuse them if you are there, if you can see where it's coming from. You can look at the box before you accept it and see who it's coming from. Obviously, if you sent a big box and what's coming back is a tiny little envelope from that same person, I would refuse that and not accept it because it is not the right item. I would videotape what I'm doing to show that this person did not send me the right item, literally from the hand of the postal clerk to me. You're not going to win them all, I can tell you right now. If that bothers you, you're probably in the wrong business. But that's what I have for you today. Hopefully that gives you some ideas and some thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
Checking out the news about Hot Wheels.
An 80s Firebird. It's a Hot Wheels Hot One. Hot Ones, what's that? That's news. Gold colored mags. Check out those racing axles. Goes really fast. Check it out.
Hot Wheels are checking out.
Yeah!
Hot Wheels Hot Ones 80s Firebird. Some cars not for use with some sets. New from Hot Wheels by Mattel.